Oh, this is fun. Welcome back, guys. As you can see, Tech Tier has dropped for Xbox One and will soon drop for PS4, guys. Don't worry, it's just a bit of a technical fault, but they will have it soon. We're going to talk about Tech Tier, of course, the tech armor, which is fun. As you can see, I can confirm it is fun. And we're also going to talk about the new dinosaurs that have come in, the new weapon that came in, the updates to the center map, and of course, that super secret, super secret special feature that has come to the consoles. It is in the patch, I'm pretty sure. They haven't announced it. It's not available right now, and I'll explain why when I get to it. But first, let's just talk quickly about the tech armor, because a lot of people were worried that this thing is going to be like super OP and it's going to ruin the game. I thought so too, but playing around with it, I don't really think so anymore. It is super difficult to actually make the damn thing, but also it is quite difficult to keep it running. As you can see, it picks up a ton of resources when you're fighting things, and it uses element all the time. And element is just as hard to get as it is to make the armor, because element is required for the armor, so you're not going to have too much of it. And the way you get it is you fight the end game bosses like the Broodmother and the Megapithecus and the dragon and stuff like that, and you there are different difficulty settings on the end bosses now, and depending on which one you do, you get engrams for the tech tier and a certain amount of element. I gotta say, being able to run on water is quite fun, but it is absolutely ridiculous to watch. But yeah, no, I can see some great utility in this. It's a bit clunky to use. The controls aren't that intuitive yet. Figuring out what it does and how you do it, it'll take you a bit of time to do it. But I might make a video about that some other time. But right now, you know, I'm leaving it apart from reviewing it here till later on. I don't want to play around with it too much. I want to save myself something for later on. But as you can see, you can fly. You have to be careful because one, it runs on each piece takes a single unit of element to run, and it does run down, and you can end up falling from quite some height. So if you've already ran out of element and your boots used all their element, you probably die when you fall. But the boots reduce fall damage. In fact, they completely remove it, which is great because you can fly some pretty ridiculous heights in this. I think maybe at the end of the footage here we'll take a jump off the volcano and see what happens. But as you can see, I'm just trying to have a go at killing some different stuff. See, is it just how OP is it? You know, is it something we really need to worry about, or is it, you know, just so expensive that it's not really going to be usable? Of course, PvP, it's going to cause problems for raids on PvP, because, you know, if a raid is planned properly, it can be over quite quickly, especially with the tech armor. But you know, for PvE, I think this is a nice, handy extra thing that we get. And yeah, we won't get to use it that often, but it'll be fun to use when we get it. And you know, the helmet, I think, is the main thing, and we'll look at that in a little while. But let's get on to what came with the patch and get onto the dinosaurs first of all. First up is the sheep, the Ovis Aries, and spectator mode is a pain in the backside, sorry. But this guy is, it doesn't really do much. It prances around, it looks cute, you can shear it with the scissors from the hairstyle mechanism, and it provides you with wool. Now, wool is why it's actually a good addition. You can use wool to replace fur in building your armor, so you no longer have to go into the Arctic to build your armor to protect you from the Arctic. So moving on to the baryonyx, again we're in spectator mode, and you can see here where you can find it. This is right smack in the middle of the meeting of the rivers, kind of flatlands beside the green spire. I've seen it roughly anywhere you can find a spino, you can find these guys, but here there are less spinos, so they tend to survive a little bit longer in the wild. They are an amphibious animal, and they do have a knockout ability when you're in the water. And they are smaller than the spino. I'll show you some footage at the end here of that. But they are quite powerful. They're quite fast as well. They're definitely faster than the spino. They swim pretty fast as well. And of course, being able to knock riders out and dinos out with the special attack underwater is a particularly good addition. It will make getting those first few tames very easy. So the size comparison, as you can see, it is rather small compared to the spino, but it does handle itself pretty well. This was a particularly high level spino that the two of them went at it in the wild, and it did pretty well. Level 40, 125. This didn't go with the baryonyx's way, but you know, it handled itself. Second last on the list of dinos is the Purlovia, the organic landmine. There's not much to say to it other than the purpose. It is a landmine. You can't ride it. It is a pain to find. As you can see from the footage, it was quite hard to actually find one. I knew roughly where I was looking, but you know, they hide underground until actually triggered. Now it was triggered by the Gallimimus, and it does go on to fight this Diplodocus and handle itself pretty well against the other higher level Dilophosaurs and Compies. But that was like a level 8, I think it was. But it does pretty well. You know, it's got that knockout ability when it busts out of the ground first, but it doesn't seem to use that other than when it busts out of the ground. So that initial attack, you know, it's got to be planned right. You know, if you're using this PvP, you need to set up other things to start kicking the crap out of people when the Purlovia knocks them on their backsides. So the last of the dinos is the Basilosaurus, which is essentially a whale. Its real utility is that it is great for being a ferry, like an actual cargo ferry on the water, for getting things around. It's probably good for making underwater bases and stuff. But as you can see from the footage, it's always followed around by a bunch of mantas. So it's going to be quite a difficult tame unless you can take care of those mantas quickly without damaging the Basilosaurus itself. So next up is, of course, the center map upgrade. They fixed a lot of stuff in it, as you can see on screen right now. There's a huge list of things. I'm not going to go through them all. I'm going to leave a link in the description for you guys to go and look through it if you're interested yourselves. Not everyone is interested in the issues with the map and how they fix them, but if you are, the link is there. But quick overview: they fixed Mega Piranha spawn. They've removed some holes where you could get out of the world. They fix a lot of spawning of the dinosaurs in the oceans and everything else, and how to get stuck. They've increase the amount of Tuso spawns in the map. They've also added the Mega Tuso. They've optimized the map a bit. They've added the Dimetrodons back onto Lava Island. They've added new artifacts, and they've allowed building in the entrances to the underworld and other stuff like that. So it's a long list. I'm not too up on it myself, so I'm going to let you guys read it. The link is in the description. Back to the tech armor. As I said, the helmet is the most important part, but as you can now see, there are some visual glitches with it, and I thought maybe it actually was highlighting the underwater caches that appear in the caves, but as you can see, when I turn the filter off, it's still happening. So obviously they've just added a visual element to the underwater caches that wasn't there before. And as you can see, when I fell into the deep water, the night vision activated, so I actually started scanning the dark areas so I could see a bit better. So I just wanted to test it a few more times, so I was jumping around. I got the cache, grabbed the artifact, and just went looking at what exactly we can do. And as you can see, you can spawn the tech replicator, or craft, sorry, the tech replicator with these caches now. So that's how you do that. But when you go down, just to show you what the difference is, when I turn off the night vision, it's really hard to see what's actually going on. And I also encountered a glitch when the night vision was off, where I ended up, as you can see, lagging out like hell. But I ended up actually outside the cave on the side of the volcano, further up from the cave entrance. So just be aware that there are some bugs with the armor, and this is one of them. But as promised, I'm going to go up to the volcano in a couple of minutes and take a jump off that, see what happens. But first, I wanted to quickly talk about the Tek rifle. Tek rifle is, I didn't bother getting any footage of it because it's pretty as you expect. It shoots, it kills, it targets things. And when you have the Tek rifle equipped, that's when the third aspect of the helmet comes in. And that's when you see the honeycomb on the side there like that. Instead of just highlighting dinosaurs when they're scanned, it actually tells you whether they're friendly, neutral, or aggressive. So you'll know better in combat. I don't know if it does it for people. It probably does. But I didn't test that because this was my single player game. But I'm going to quickly jump forward here to the top of the volcano so we can have a bit of fun before we get on to talking about what's going on with the channel. So guys, on the way up the volcano here, I just wanted to talk quickly about what's going on with the channel. As some of you will have noticed, I haven't uploaded in a couple of weeks. That has been slightly out of my control and slightly in my control. What happened was the GPU failed on my old Xbox because it's quite old and I play a lot of video games, so it broke. But I ordered a new one. I did have to take a day or so to just double check the finances, make sure I could afford it, because as some of you know, I'm not working right now, so I have to just be careful of the money. But I was able to afford it and I ordered a new one, but then it disappeared in transit, so I had to contact my supplier and get them to send out another one. So thankfully they didn't charge me for the second one because it was their own company that were doing the delivery as well. And yeah, we have it. So we're back to recording. Now, with regards to the recording, I'm going to redo my How to Tame series. And I'm going to do a video for each dinosaur. And I'm going to use my new branding. And I'm going to use the new elements and video overlays that I developed in my downtime while I wasn't recording. Because even though I wasn't able to record, I wanted to improve the channel for you guys, which is why a lot of my old videos disappeared. I want to just do a better job for you, and here we go. As promised, jumping off the volcano. I just decided to do the sprint charge and not jump, just see how far sprinting off the volcano would carry me. As you can see, it's going quite far, even compared to some of the faster dinos, and ended up landing in the river here. Now, I've run out of element at this stage, which is what I was saying. It's quite hard to keep this armor going. I think making this video, I spent maybe 40 minutes in the Tek armor, and I spawned myself, I would say, close to 200 element to keep using it. But I decided, you know, enough's enough. As I said at the beginning of the video, I want to save some of the Tek armor for myself to have a bit of fun with when I get back to doing a Let's Play, but I just let myself die here and we'll move on from there. But with regards to the channel, as I said, going to do the How to Tame series. I'm holding off on my Let's Play on Ark because I want to wait for the super secret feature, and now's the perfect time to talk about that. So, super secret feature is, I suspect, already in the game, but it hasn't been announced yet. And they're not discussing it, and I believe the reason for that is the PlayStation patch is the problem. Not the problem, but they're holding off. This whatever's causing the PlayStation patch to be coming out on the 20th rather than the same day as our patch. I think that's the issue, because earlier, I think it was last week, I certainly have a clip of the tweet, and I'll put it on screen right here. So in the tweet, Jeremy Stieglitz said that we typically have 50,000 Xbox users, 65,000 PS4 on Sunday, so definitely over 200k in the Ark at the moment. If only they could all play together. Now, to me, that kind of gives it away. If you guys don't know, I actually work in IT. I'm a business analyst, system administrator, junior developer, a few other things as well, but I work in the cloud computing space. And for platforms to communicate to each other, particularly proprietary platforms, they need a middleman to translate. And I think that's what the super secret feature is going to be. It's going to be crossplay, and it's going to be servers based on Windows. So we'll be able to hopefully rent our servers the same way the guys on PC do. We should hopefully also be able to use the same providers as they do, so we'll know who's reliable and who's not, and who's good value and who's not. But for crossplay to work, it needs to be on a third platform, because I don't think either PlayStation or Xbox are going to agree to hosting servers for both platforms, because it doesn't make business sense to help out your competitor. So why help them out when you can just say no? And PlayStation already, it's been quite obvious that PlayStation don't like the game preview program, so they're definitely not going to help out a game preview that also is doing crossplay, because it's great for the industry as an idea. It's not great for businesses within the industry who compete directly with each other. So I think it's going to be on Windows because of that, which is great for us. It really is, and I really hope that my suspicions are right. But they were very vocal about server rentals are coming in 2017. They're coming in Q1 2017. Sometimes it was said January, sometimes it was said February from different sources. But now all of a sudden, all those sources are not talking. They won't talk about the super secret feature when people ask the questions. It's not answered. I've asked myself about server rental to Jat and a few other people. I've also got a few of my friends who are big YouTubers to ask them to see if it was just they weren't bothered with me. And they've got no answers either. So I usually radio silence in these things is, you're asking about something they're not allowed to talk about right now. So I suspect it's not allowed to talk about it in a good way, that they're just waiting to announce it. They don't want the story breaking before they're ready, because obviously, if there's something majorly wrong, it might take a little bit more time to do it. But you know what? I hope it's soon. And I'm going to leave it there, guys. I'll be back hopefully with a video on Monday. It was my wife's birthday yesterday, so I have to go and see my in-laws, and I'm going to spend the day with them tomorrow. I'm off out tonight, so I'm going to have a pretty good weekend, and I'm looking forward to it. But I will catch you guys on Monday, and you know what? Have an awesome weekend, and guys, get on the game. It's good. Also, I've been playing Destiny again. I went back to it this week. While I was waiting for Ark's patch to drop, and I'm really enjoying it. And if you haven't played it before, and you played it and you weren't very good at it, or you didn't get much done because you're a solo player, don't worry about that. I've done all three characters up, one of them to 40, one to 38, and one to 39. I've got a couple of exotics. I've got a lot of legendaries and stuff like that. So don't worry about jumping back on that. It's actually quite fun. I had a lot of fun on that. I might do a stream or something on that sometime in the future. But have a good one, guys. Catch you next time.